The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not permit combining two 120-volt circuits to create a single 240-volt receptacle. The primary reason is that the neutral conductor in the combined circuit would carry the combined current of both circuits, potentially exceeding its capacity. This overcurrent situation poses a significant safety risk, increasing the likelihood of overheating, insulation damage, and even electrical fires. The proposed wiring method, where two 120-volt circuits are combined at a receptacle to create a 240-volt outlet, would therefore violate the NEC. To understand this better, let's break down the electrical principles involved. In a standard 120-volt circuit, you have a hot wire, a neutral wire, and a ground wire. The hot wire carries the electrical current from the power source to the load, such as a lamp or an appliance. The neutral wire provides a return path for the current back to the source, completing the circuit. The ground wire serves as a safety measure, providing a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source in the event of a short circuit or ground fault. This quick surge of current trips the circuit breaker, shutting off the power and preventing electrical shock. When you have two separate 120-volt circuits, each circuit has its own dedicated hot, neutral, and ground wires. The neutral wire in each circuit is designed to carry the current for that specific circuit only. However, when you attempt to combine two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle, you are essentially trying to use a single neutral wire to carry the current for both circuits. In a 240-volt circuit, you have two hot wires that are 180 degrees out of phase with each other. This means that the voltage difference between the two hot wires is 240 volts. When a load is connected to the 240-volt circuit, current flows from one hot wire through the load and back to the other hot wire. In a properly wired 240-volt circuit, the neutral wire is only used to carry any imbalance in the current between the two hot wires. However, when you combine two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle, you are forcing the neutral wire to carry the full current of both circuits. This can easily exceed the neutral wire's capacity, leading to overheating and potential hazards. Moreover, combining circuits in this manner can create a dangerous situation where the ground fault protection is compromised. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are designed to detect small imbalances in current between the hot and neutral wires, indicating a ground fault. If the GFCI detects a ground fault, it quickly trips the circuit breaker, shutting off the power and preventing electrical shock. However, when you combine two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle, the GFCI may not be able to accurately detect ground faults, as the current flow is no longer balanced as intended. In the situation described, a 20-amp double-pole GFCI circuit breaker is used. While a double-pole breaker will trip if there is an overcurrent on either of the hot legs, it does not address the issue of the overloaded neutral. The GFCI function may also be impaired due to the combined neutral currents. Instead of attempting to combine two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle, a safer and code-compliant alternative is to install separate circuits for 120-volt and 240-volt tools. This involves running two separate circuits, each with its own 20-amp circuit breaker, neutral wire, and ground wire. One circuit can be used for 120-volt tools, and the other circuit can be used for 240-volt tools. It is important to install receptacles that are appropriate for the voltage of each tool, ensuring that they are on different circuits. For example, a standard 120-volt receptacle can be used for 120-volt tools, while an M6-20R receptacle can be used for 240-volt tools. This approach meets NEC requirements and allows for the safe operation of both 120-volt and 240-volt tools simultaneously. Furthermore, using separate circuits ensures that each circuit is properly protected by its own circuit breaker. If a fault occurs on one circuit, the other circuit will continue to operate normally. It is also important to ensure that the wiring used for each circuit is of the appropriate gauge for the amperage rating of the circuit breaker. For a 20-amp circuit, 12 American wire gauge, or AUG, copper wire is typically used. However, it is always best to consult the NEC or a qualified electrician to determine the correct wire size for a specific application. In addition to installing separate circuits, it is also important to properly ground all electrical equipment. Grounding helps to protect against electrical shock by providing a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source. All metal enclosures, such as electrical boxes and equipment housings, should be grounded. The grounding conductor should be connected to a grounding electrode system such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe, which is connected to the earth. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and compliant with the NEC. Attempting to combine two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle is not only a code violation but also a dangerous practice that can lead to serious consequences. Always consult with a qualified electrician before making any changes to your electrical system. They can help you to design and install a system that meets your needs and complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Consider installing a subpanel if you need more circuits in your shop. A subpanel is a smaller electrical panel that is fed from the main electrical panel. This allows you to add more circuits without having to upgrade the main panel. When installing a subpanel, it is important to follow all NEC requirements, including proper grounding and bonding. Also, use appropriately sized conductors for the feeder wires connecting the main panel to the subpanel. Ensure that the subpanel is properly labeled to indicate its purpose and the circuits it serves. If you are unfamiliar with electrical work, it is always best to hire a qualified electrician to install a subpanel for you. They have the knowledge and experience to do the job safely and correctly. Now let's talk about some other important considerations for electrical safety in a shop environment. Firstly, always use ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of moisture, such as near sinks or in damp locations. GFCIs are designed to protect against electrical shock by quickly shutting off the power if they detect a ground fault. Secondly, regularly inspect electrical cords and equipment for damage. Replace any cords that are frayed, cracked, or otherwise damaged. Do not use equipment with damaged cords, as this can create a serious safety hazard. Thirdly, use appropriate extension cords for the equipment you are using. Make sure that the extension cord is rated for the amperage of the equipment and that it is long enough to reach the outlet without being stretched or strained. Fourthly, never overload circuits. Overloading a circuit can cause the circuit breaker to trip, and it can also create a fire hazard. If you are unsure whether a circuit is overloaded, consult with a qualified electrician. Fifthly, keep electrical panels and equipment clear of obstructions. Do not store anything in front of electrical panels, as this can prevent access in case of an emergency. Sixthly, be aware of the location of all electrical panels and shut-off switches. In case of an emergency, you need to be able to quickly shut off the power. Seventhly, follow lockout-tagout procedures when working on electrical equipment. Lockout-tagout is a safety procedure that involves disconnecting the power to equipment and placing a lock and tag on the disconnect switch to prevent accidental energization. Eighthly, use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, when working with electricity. This may include safety glasses, gloves, and insulated tools. Ninthly, be aware of the hazards of static electricity. Static electricity can build up on clothing and equipment and can cause a spark that could ignite flammable materials. Take precautions to prevent static electricity buildup, such as wearing cotton clothing and using anti-static sprays. Tenthly, always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety. Electricity is a powerful force that can be dangerous if not handled properly. It is always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to electrical safety. In summary, combining two 120-volt circuits to create a 240-volt receptacle is not permitted by the NEC. The neutral conductor would be overloaded, creating a safety hazard. Instead, install separate circuits for 120-volt and 240-volt tools. Follow all NEC requirements and consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that your electrical system is safe and compliant. Remember to use GFCIs in damp locations, inspect cords and equipment regularly, use appropriate extension cords, Never overload circuits. Keep electrical panels clear. Know the location of shut-off switches. Follow lockout-tagout procedures. Use appropriate PPE. Be aware of the hazards of static electricity. And always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. By following these guidelines, you can create a safe and efficient electrical system for your shop.